Classroom Chronicle is on the road once again. It's the 50th anniversary of C-Lab, started back in 1968. And we've been invited to come out and see what the kids are up to. Simone Bourgeois invited us to come by today, and I'm so glad that you gave me a call. This is the 50th year for C-Lab. I couldn't believe that. And did it really start with a bunch of fifth graders who just went down to the beach?
Yes, it did. We are celebrating our 50th year of educational excellence for New Bedford Public Schools, and the program began in a very small fashion. It began with a gentleman called Paul Lavassa, and he was a fifth grade teacher at the Dunbar School, and he took 10 to 12 of his boys that he had in fifth grade to the ocean, to one of the disused army barracks, and that's what their summer was. Their summer was learning about the Atlantic Ocean and about the flora and fauna that lived there, and waves and the moon's influence on it. The following year, the superintendent contacted me and asked, because his fifth graders were now moving up, and they needed a sixth grade teacher, and they wanted to add a fourth grade. So at that time, I was a sixth grade teacher at the Parker School, and I was contacted and asked if I would be the fourth grade teacher at C-Lab, and it was totally beyond me. I was very trepidatious about it because I had majored in English, and science was not something that was my major.
Right.
So when I was interviewed for the position, I was told that they were looking for a teacher, and that content was something that you could learn. And that is how I've based my philosophy. And when you have the opportunity to meet the students and the staff here at C-Lab, you will find that primarily they are incredible teachers.
I was going to ask you that. I was going to ask you what came first. Were you a teacher or your love of science? And you just answered that. So you picked up quite a bit of knowledge, I can tell, just by talking with you.
Well, thank you so much. Yes, I am a teacher, and I consider myself a teacher. And many times I will go into the classrooms here at C-Lab and teach. And many times my teachers will say to me, "Thank you, Mrs. Bourgeois, but you may leave now," and go back to the office. But primarily, my love is teaching. And it is an honor to have these children. And as the facilitator or the administrator in charge, it is a responsibility to make sure that our children are given the best information by the most knowledgeable educators that I can find in a particular area. We deal with earth and space science, we deal with physical science, we deal with life science, we deal with design, engineering, and technology as they relate to the ocean and to ponds, lakes, and streams. So our school of science, of sea science, has evolved into one that we deal with different water sources. So we do aquatic, which are the pond, lake, and streams, as well as we study marine, which would be the oceans.
And this isn't just looking at a science book. This is a hands-on. And you said that you even have classes that go down to the beach and go sailing, right? Oh,
absolutely. We do not use texts. We do not use textbooks. Every curricula is developed by the staff together. We perhaps will discuss on a weekly basis something that's newly discovered in science. For example, the water under the surface of Mars and how we can impart this in a hands-on way. So the children will have content delivery, first of all, and then from that content delivery, there's always a hands-on that follows. And yes, we have marine-related activities. Our marine-related activities are swimming for the lower grades. We want them to be proficient and get get them familiar with the ocean, because many of them are use of ponds or pools at home, so the ocean is a different experience to them. And then we start in 6th grade, we do water safety. They are given classes by the environmental police, and they actually earn a little license which allows them to drive a certain footage of a boat. They learn sailing as a marine-related activity in 6th grade, and then as we progress up for 7th grade, we do snorkeling, and then 8th grade is snorkeling, and 9th grade is crew. So we have many marine-related activities. The children also participate in field studies, so they will go to marshes, they will go to different ocean activities along the east coast of Massachusetts as well as Rhode Island.
Cool. So that, of course, keeps them interested in the summertime. Is this a year-round job for you?
I am a 12-month employee at CLAB, and the September to June program began approximately in 2000, and the New Bedford Public School academic year program is such that the superintendent at that time wanted us to be able to give to all children of the city of New Bedford, or specified grades, the CLAB experience. And so Mr. Perry, who you've met, and I began a program, basically look at the spring MCAS to see where we are most weak in science study, and then we develop hands-on lessons in the 4 major strands of life science, earth and space science, design, engineering, and technology, as well as physical science. So every 5th grader visits CLAB 4 times during the academic year, and every 4th grader visits CLAB once during the academic year. And we have quite a few collaborants. We have Mystic Aquarium, Bob Ballard's program that's called Immersion Presents. They're here every Wednesday. We have people from the Buzzards Bay Coalition. We have engineers and educational people from the Naval Reserve, the Naval Undersea Reserve Center in Newport, and we have community boating. Community boating comes in, and our children learn about the moon's influence on tides, and they actually make boats. And in one of the classrooms, you'll see this rowboat that was constructed. So New Bedford Public School children have the opportunity to visit CLAB, and we have about 4,000 or 5,000 children that come through this facility during an academic year. Our CLAB program session in the summer, we have approximately 350 children and 34 staff members.
Wow. And how are those 350 children selected? I mean, how does one get to come to CLAB?
They fill out an application. Applications are sent to all New Bedford public, parochial, and private schools, and the children and their parents and their teachers fill out applications, and from there we do an interview, and they write an essay, and they take a science assessment test. And from there we select 24 third graders, that's our first level, and 24 fourth graders. And then we fill in openings in each ensuing grade, which would be from 5 to 9. So that's how the children are selected, and that's how they come to attend the summer CLAB session.
I've noticed that there is a good mixture between boys and girls, and we often hear that we need more girls in the STEM program, in the sciences, but that doesn't seem to be a problem here, does it?
Well, when I became my first position here at CLAB, the 4th grade teacher, and then the curriculum person for CLAB, we only had boys, because at that particular time, in the late 60s, boys were known to have science as well as mathematical.
And girls were not, huh?
That's
was
true.
The 60s, yeah.
And I felt a little strange because I was a female teacher and didn't actually fit the role of a man teacher.
Right.
So at that particular point in time, discussion was had, and females began to enter the program also. And at this particular point in time, I'm very proud to say that we have 52% female and 48% male, and we are very proud of that. our girls do very well, and so do our young men. But we have an even balance, a gender balance.
I was amazed to see that C-Lab has connections or has had visiting professors from MIT, from BC, from many places. So it's well respected in the community.
We are very fortunate. We are probably the only elementary, middle, high school school, basically, that offers marine and aquatic education to our students. And MIT is very involved with us, as well as we've written some books with them that's basically on the soluble property of water. And we are interactive with the Boston College seismology program. We do have 2 seismographs here that actually monitor and screen every earthquake that's over a 0.3 on the Richter scale. Mm-hmm. And our children actually locate by latitude and longitude where these earthquakes take place. Wow. And there is a pin board outside of this particular room that eventually at the end of the summer, it will indicate the tectonic plates that planet Earth has as is out of core. So yes, we are very fortunate. We have a lot of collaborates. As I said previously, Mystic Aquarium, we have Buzzards Bay Coalition, we have the Navy, we have community boating, we have New Bedford Rowing, we have Buzzards Bay Coalition, Boston College, the MIT program, and Woods Hole Oceanographic. They're all very interactive in our program.
One more question, then can we look around?
Absolutely.
Okay, one more question. People may notice that we were here. This is C-Lab is in the Tabor School are together, and it was Dr. D that had us here in May, I believe it was. And there's quite a transition that happens, right, at the end of the school year, and as you were telling me, at the end of the summer.
Yes. Initially, this building, this edifice, was built for C-Lab, and the grand plan was to have all kindergarten through high school students from New Bedford Public Schools rotate on a daily basis through our program. Unfortunately, the John Hannigan School's ceiling fell down, and we had several classrooms that were opened, and so Hannigan moved here and was here for approximately 8 years. And as the Taylor School needed to be replaced, we built an addition, and Taylor School, this has been its first year here, and we share the building, we share the classrooms, and during the summertime, half of our classrooms are Taylor School classrooms that we have turned back to C-Lab with lab tables and gas pipes and so forth. And come September, those classrooms will be reinstated with desks and chairs and the Taylor School teachers. So we share the facilities, at least half of the facility, with the Taylor School.
And in about, what did you say, 3 days, the total transition is made?
Takes us approximately 3 days and 20 to 25 of New Bedford Public School custodians. And they do a masterful job because they clean from ceiling to floor, and they have to take all the lab tables down and store them and bring all the academic needs for the academic year students to participate in. So the desks, the chairs, the books, everything needs to come back and be put into place.
Well, enough of us talking. Let's go see what the kids are doing.
Right now are working on microscopes. They're looking at different samples that they've collected on the beach and in their yards, and they're just getting an awesome opportunity for hands-on learning through microscopes.
So these are actually items that they collected themselves?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
Yep.
And what do they look, when you say items, what are we looking at?
We're looking at all different kinds of things. We're looking at shells, we're looking at different plant items, anything that they thought would look interesting under a microscope so you could get a different view of what you would normally see just with your eye.
Okay. And we're talking with Miss Almeida, who is from, now, where are you from?
I currently live in New Bedford. I actually work at Kearney Academy during the school year as a STEM specialist.
Okay. And what got you into science and STEM?
My whole entire life, I've always been very interested in science, outdoor things, working with students. So it's
All right.
perfect.
Well, let's take a look around and see what some of the kids are looking at.
I'm looking at a fake leaf right there.
Did you say fake leaf?
Yes.
Okay. Now, why are you looking at a fake leaf?
I'm looking at a fake leaf because you can see like the indents in it. Well, not really.
Mm-hmm.
It's just really cool. It's amazing.
I can't imagine what it look. Can I look inside?
Yeah.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. Wow. That's magnified a lot, huh? Did you go out and gather things in the water?
No,
No?
I just gathered
You
these
just
from my
gathered
home.
Okay. Are you having a fun summer?
Yes.
Yeah? What do you like about Sea Lab?
I like that we get to learn about science,
Mm-hmm.
especially about the water because I love the water.
There you go. All right. What's your name?
Sam,
Sam? What are you looking at, Sam?
this?
Oh, so you look at all kinds of things, huh? Okay,
Yeah.
now, what is his name? Does he have a name?
No.
No, okay. Should we give him a name?
Well, he has one, but
Okay, Bruce. His name is Bruce.
no, his name's Jeff.
Oh, his name is Jeff. Okay, his name is Jeff. What are you looking at with Jeff? What are you noticing?
Well, I'm looking at him.
Mm-hmm. Have you put him under the microscope?
Yeah.
Yeah. And does it really magnify it and look
Yeah.
really weird?
At first I couldn't really see anything. All I could see was just like one color,
Right.
and then
Keep working at it, huh? Move
else.
it around? Mm-hmm. All right, thanks. Hi, Sophie. What are you looking at?
I'm looking at a feather that I found on the beach, probably from a seagull.
A seagull's feather from the beach. Nice. And how does that look under the microscope?
I can see all the little tiny parts and like,
You can see all the little tiny parts.
yeah.
Nice. How long have you been coming to Sea Lab?
I just started this year.
Yeah, what do you think?
I like it a lot because it's fun, but you're learning at the same time.
It's fun, but you're learning it. See, learning can be fun, right? Yeah. What is your name?
Emily,
Emily, Emma, I'm sorry. What are you looking at?
something I found on the beach.
That looks like a decal maybe, right? Does it have glitter on it?
Yes,
How does that look under the microscope?
really cool.
Really cool. Okay. Nice. What's your name?
Marley.
Hi, Marley. What do you? Oh, another feather. Mm-hmm. Now, that's a different looking feather. Where do you think that's from?
Well, it's a fake one.
It's a fake feather. Okay. That's probably why it looks different.
Yeah.
What are you noticing?
It has a lot of lines and bumps in it.
You can really see those when you get them under the microscope, huh? Do you like this class? You get to look at different things? Mm-hmm. Yeah. How long have you been coming to Sea Lab?
It's my first year.
First year for you too, huh? Was it exciting?
Yes.
Yeah. Almost time for the end of this. Where do you go to school?
All Saints Catholic School.
Okay, and you'll be starting up again soon, right? Have you had a good summer?
Yeah.
That's great. All right. What's your name?
June.
June. What are you looking at, June?
Pollen of a pine tree, but sometimes it's not real. It's pretty blurry, so you have to adjust it, find it somehow.
Is that why my allergies are acting up? Because you've got pollen here? Is that why?
I don't know. It's in. I don't know. It's in there, so I don't think.
Where did you find that?
I have a microscope at home, and they let you get some slides when you buy the microscope.
Do you have a microscope like this at home?
It's a little different. The light is a little different. There's different shades of light on mine. Dang it, I can't find it.
Well, you zero in on that, okay?
Yeah.
She's analyzing pollen. Skylar Reese is an intern here at Sea Lab. You also went to Sea Lab, right?
I did.
Yeah.
I graduated 4 years ago now.
Okay, and you are one of a few in the Reese family, right?
I am. I have 3 younger sisters that are currently attending C-Lab.
Okay.
One in the 9th grade, one in the 7th grade, and then one in the 4th grade.
What made you decide to go to C-Lab?
I was actually very hesitant about coming to school in the summer, but I knew that I loved the ocean, and at the time I was a big shark fan, and I still am today. And my mom told me that if I wanted to be a marine biologist, I had to come to C-Lab, so.
So were you swimming and doing all those activities before coming here?
I was, but I wasn't as good as swimming in the ocean. They have a really good waterfront program here where they teach you how to, sail, boating, things like that. I wasn't doing any of that. I was just going to the beach,
So going to the beach has really jumped up a notch, and I understand you're going to Harvard, is that right?
I am. I'm going into my sophomore year.
Wow. I know someone from Harvard. Isn't that cool? I love this show. So you've come back to be an intern here. What's that like?
As an intern, my day-to-day tasks are helping out in the classroom. For example, today I'm kind of a teacher's assistant as kind of monitoring the dissection of a frog we're doing. And it really depends on the project we're working on, or if we're at the waterfront. For example, if we're at the waterfront, I'm a snorkeling instructor. I'll help Mr. Perry get in the water with the kids, introduce them to the local marine life, introduce them to the snorkeling techniques we use, things like that.
Wow. Sounds fascinating. Great way to spend the summer, huh?
It's the best way to spend the summer, and it's a great internship to have on your resume, things like that. People look all over the world for internships like this, but you can find it right here in New Bedford.
So what's in store for you? What are you hoping to do when you finish at Harvard?
I'm hoping to go into the environmental science realm of marine biology, maybe conservation biology, things like that. I was actually just doing an internship in South Africa, doing conservation biology with great white sharks.
Wow.
So I'm hoping to go into some sort of big fish, conservation fishing, things like that.
So how real is Shark Week? I mean, is it, glorified for TV or what?
It's actually pretty real, and I got to meet some of the people that are on it when I was down in South Africa, and they are very legitimate scientists, I have to say. Now, some of the things like Shaquille on Shark Week, I don't know if that's a little played up, but the actual science behind it is very legitimate.
I can't believe that the NFL let Rob Gronkowski get that close to a shark. It just doesn't work. So.
I know.
Great. Well, we're going to look around. We won't get too close on the dissection of frogs, but why is that done anyway? I've always wondered that. Why are kids taught to dissect frogs?
Because you can always look at a model of something and see oh, this piece of plastic is this piece of plastic is this. But it's not until you see the actual anatomical composition of certain muscles and things that you understand the function. I actually just had one girl ask me, is this the heart? And I got to explain to her, no, if you see how this filmy substance is actually a protectant boundary, you can tell that it's actually the lung of the frog. Okay. And you'll see it in there.
All right.
This is a very interesting day for you guys to come in.
Adam Desjardins is here with the the freshmen, right? The 9th graders? Or?
A mix of 9th graders, so freshmen and sophomores.
Okay. And they're working with robots today, is that right?
Yes, we actually have a partnership with the Navy base out of Newport, Rhode Island. The kids are actually working on robotics. We have 2 different kinds. Right now, they are working on some of their bigger robots to complete a challenge at the end of the summer. And over here, we have some underwater robots that the kids also work on from time to time.
Now, the underwater robots, let's start with that. What do those do?
So the underwater robots, we try to build them to do a variety of small little tasks. Kids build them totally from scratch. They learn all sorts of useful skills trying to build it. We usually give them just a basic task of basically finding some certain objects underwater, placing them in certain spots.
Like the Titanic, things like that?
Exactly, yeah. The same type of ROVs that were used to either find the Titanic, some of the ROVs that we used to actually fix the oil spill in the Gulf, all totally unmanned vehicles. So that's basically just a small little introduction to what those are.
Now, how about to your left there, the bigger robots? What are those used for?
So these robots, we just have them basically working towards a competition. They're going to have a competition in a couple weeks right before the end of C-Lab. We just have a pretty basic challenge of basically they're going to be in teams, and they're basically going to be creating towers out of blocks using just these robots.
Cool.
Yeah.
So a lot of these things do have an underwater use, right, in today's world.
Oh, absolutely. Everything from shipwrecks, environmental disasters, rescue missions, anything like that. There's a good part of the ocean that's very dangerous for humans to be in. As a result, we certainly want to advance these ROVs just to keep humans safe and do our jobs underwater.
What got you interested in this? You seem to really be passionate about it.
Well, my mother does work for the Navy. She does actually she works with a couple of these things, which got me interested. I've always been interested with kids. I've also studied a lot of history. That's actually what I originally went to school for. So I've always been interested in shipwrecks, things of that sort, Treasure Island, shipwrecks.
Are you from New Bedford?
Dartmouth.
Dartmouth. Were you a Navy brat?
I was partly a Navy child, but not too much. Yeah. Just a naval civilian. My mother's a naval civilian, so
Okay.
a little different. But
All right. Well, we're going to look around, and thank you so much.
thank you very much for coming.
All right, so we've got a team here that is working on a robot. Let me see who everybody is. Your name?
Maya Fonseca,
Maya.
Ruby Loro, Kate Reynolds, Caitlin Pimenta.
Did you know each other before this class with C-Lab?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So what are you working on? Who can tell me about this project?
We're working on a robot that's designed to complete a challenge, which is to stack blocks in a configuration that gets your team the most points by the end of the round. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. So does everybody have an assignment, or are you all working to build the whole thing? How does this work?
Yeah, it's more like we're all just doing what's needed at the moment to get it done. We don't have like set tasks.
Very good. Hey, is this the first time you've built a robot?
Yes. I'm not very experienced with engineering and robots, so this is actually very educational to me. Like, this is like a new experience, and that's like only what you can get at C-Lab, so.
It's nice that you welcome that challenge, because there are plenty of people who will say, I don't know how to do that. I'm not going to do that, yeah. So what have you worked on here?
Well, I worked on putting some of the wheels together and attaching them to the motors so that the robot will move when we.
Have you had a test run? Is it working well?
We haven't yet because we still have to program the controls.
Okay.
So we basically go on the computer and we punch in different codes and it
Writing
tells.
code?
Yeah. So it tells like the robot what to do, like to move it up, down, forward, back, side to side. And then.
That is so cool. And I don't know if you have a chance to see this, but this is just your materials, right?
Mm-hmm.
Regular box of stuff.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know what all of these things do?
On the first day, we were explained which each of these wires did and what we could use these C channels for, or the spatula pieces, so we could have an idea of what we should do when we started designing and building our robots.
Where are y'all from? Do you all go to the same school? Where are you from?
I go to Dartmouth High.
Me too.
I go to Vogue Tech.
Vogue.
All right. Summer's wrapping up, huh? Do you get some free time before school starts?
Not really. I have practices.
Oh, that's right.
For school. And I just get the weekends off.
All right. Has it been a good summer?
Yes.
Everybody agrees? All right. Well, good luck with your robot.
Thank you.
Does he or she have a name?
Not yet. Not yet. Do you want to name it?
That's a lot of pressure you're putting on me. Do we want male, female, or? Whatever. The C-Lab Special. No? I don't know. Is that good?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with that. But we could go with Bruce. Whatever you...
I think Bruce is a good name.
I like Bruce too. All right. Good luck, Bruce. What a great day today here at C-Lab, and congratulations on 50 years. I can't believe that. Simone, thank you so much for having us, and the kids are doing great work.
The children, it's our honor, our privilege, our pleasure to teach them, and they are doing great work. It's a great staff. It's a phenomenal program, and I thank you once again for visiting with us and for highlighting what New Bedford Public Schools does with its students. This is a phenomenal program with a phenomenal staff, and it's made that way through the students as well as the parents. We're very, very fortunate. And on a sidebar, when we first opened this building, you came and you interviewed us.
That's right.
And we've grown now.
Yeah.
We've grown. So we now have 350 children, and we have 34 staff members. So once again, thank you so much, Pete, for
You're so
visiting
welcome.
with us and celebrating 50 years of marine and aquatic education in Bedford Public Schools.
Until next time, I'm Pete Braley. Thanks for watching Classroom Chronicle.